You're watching Black and Gold Today.
Welcome back to the show. When it comes to generosity and making an impact, Mike, one Edinburgh graduate who is now an art teacher in the Kiski area school district certainly has the Midas touch.
Black and Gold Today videographer Kent Urbanski has more with Larry Klue.
Larry Klukaszewski, known as Larry Klue, is a Pittsburgh artist whose inspiration for painting stems from childhood memories of watching the Black and Gold with his family.
It all began here in good old Western PA. This is my childhood home. Every Sunday was a holiday in this house because, of course, like the rest of the western part of the state in the 70s, we shut her down and enjoyed our Steelers. When I wasn't out in the street playing, I was in the house watching or at the kitchen table drawing, recreating my heroes on paper with my pencil and my watercolor and whatnot.
Surrounded by years worth of memorabilia and his paintings of historical sports figures, Klue finds the serenity of the basement he grew up in his comfort zone while continuing his work.
I paint my personal favorites and some pieces that I truly enjoy. I feel compelled to keep them because I enjoy them so well. For example, the Bettis behind me, I've had multiple offers from people who want to purchase that, and I say no, it's my backdrop when I film some of my lessons. I started just dabbling in some basic sketch work, and I actually gave it one year to my sixth graders as a Christmas gift, and they all remarked to me, "Mr. K, you got some skills here, why don't you do something with this?" And it was interesting because these 12-year-olds are speaking some faith into me. I started using the social media applications and set up a personal website, and I did some charitable endeavors, and then before I know it, I was doing the Heinz Ward show, and people started asking me to do charitable work, and it's just like one thing led to the next. I met Jerome Bettis, and I became so busy I could hardly keep up, but in a good way.
Klue has done one-of-a-kind artwork for players upon request, Bettis being one of them.
There are instances where I do, just one out of one. For example, I just did a custom jersey for Jerome Bettis where I painted right on his jersey, and he and I both signed it. You know, this is one of ones. One of my best memories is I was able to gift Dan Rooney with a hand-painted football because I like to do unique items. Is just to say thank you to him for inspiring me via the Steelers, and he very graciously accepted and invited me down to the South Side practice facility, and I spent a good half hour in his office just chit-chatting away, and to this day that piece is on display in the Great Hall at Heinz Field.
And what's the reward in all of this for Klue, who donates much of his work to benefit others in need?
That I get to use a God-given ability to help people, and there is great joy in that. In fact, joy beyond description, because if you can create something with your own hands and use that to benefit one of the special causes near and dear to your heart, it's just, it's indescribable. It's priceless. It's so meaningful.
And we understand Larry is going through some health issues of his own. Best wishes to him, but he continues to give back to others. The latest charity that he is helping out is #GolfForMary. For more information, or if you'd like to help, go to Larry Klue's website at larryklue.com. And Mike, time now for our Fans Sound Off feature, which we do each and every week. And it was quite the scene outside of Lambeau Field, where two prominent tailgating groups converged in Green Bay and held a pregame party together with the Black and Gold Nation well represented.
Kevin and I came together about 4 years ago. I have a company called the Steeler Gang, and we built up a social media following. Kevin established a tailgate base, and we kind of brought it together, and people just started showing up. And so we've been going from every home and away game around the country.
It really took off about 2 years ago. Arthur Moats ended up coming together with us. and it's been a wild ride since then. If you could get the idea out there, people could come from all over together, even on the road, and have somewhere to go to congregate as a fan of an away team.
Oh, it's great because we never expected it to be like this. We just, we started off with just two guys loving the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this happens. That's it. Yeah, so it's a great thing. It's awesome.
Man, we just felt like it was a good connection. Once I retired, I wanted to get back being around fans in less of a formal sense, right? Because with the team, it's always formal. It's always very regimented and things like that. But with them, man, they provided this platform where I'm able to just interact and hang out and have a good time tailgating, which is something I never did even in college.
Us to our Fan of the Week, and that honor goes to Michael Katz of Minneapolis, Minnesota, originally from the Steel City. What a career he had, as he was a long-time Three Rivers press box attendant, as he is reunited with his son after a long stretch of time. He and his son were reunited. He has now since moved to the Twin Cities, and of course he and his son were able to enjoy their first NFL game, and it was the Steelers taking on the Packers at Green Bay. And unfortunately, they saw a loss, but it was great to see two people reunited, father and son, getting a chance to watch their first professional football game. And by the way, don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Black and Gold today. Quite a scene, though, in Lambeau. It was our first time going up there. Something you should do to check off the bucket list.
Oh, that's absolutely got to be one of the bucket list premier places. And considering it's two of the most classic franchises, and just, seeing the fans right there in those shots you guys got, I mean, it's just a great turnout to see those two great fan bases interacting. And it's a rare matchup, too, because you don't get to see the NFC, AFC matchups a ton. So just knowing the history, especially with the Super Bowl matchup and Super Bowl 45 between Roethlisberger and Rodgers, this could be the final time we see them go up against one another. So, again, not the result you wanted to see if you're a Steeler fan, but definitely a lot of interesting stuff, the pageantry around the matchup, I guess.
We were kind of hoping for better weather, but it was almost appropriate that it had that football feel weather too, being outside at Lambeau Field. Well, we'll turn our attention from the fans now to the food, Mike.
Jess continues to set the bar high in Sunday dishes. Here is what she has cooking as we move forward here on the season.
Hey guys, big game against the Broncos today. We're going to give people a lot of energy and a lot of protein with this dish. They're called Armadillo Eggs, and you'll see why on the finished product. They're jalapenos stuffed with cheese, wrapped in sausage, wrapped in bacon. They're delicious. For the Armadillo Eggs, you're going to need jalapenos, bacon sausage, some cream cheese, and shredded cheddar. First thing we're going to do is take about half a brick of cream cheese. You don't need a ton because you're putting them inside these narrow jalapenos. So you take the cream cheese and put that in a bowl. You're just going to take, I say pinches, maybe that's not appropriate, but about that much. Mix up the cream cheese and the shredded cheddar just till they're combined. Cut the ends off of the jalapenos. Just makes it easier to get the cheese in there. And then I take the back of a spoon. You'll see all that ribbing and seeds. That's where all the heat is held in those jalapenos. So you just take the spoon and maneuver it around. Don't worry if it cracks a little bit, but you're going to want to get rid of all those seeds so you can have the flavor of jalapenos, but not all of the heat. You're just going to stuff the cheese. Gets a little messy, but it's the easiest way to do it. Right down in that pepper. You don't want it to come to the ends because you don't want it to come out of the sausage, so you want to tuck it in just a little bit all the way through. Next step is taking sausage and wrapping it around there. Use a patty-sized sausage, and you're just going to push it on and wrap it and just mold it around there as if it's like clay or Play-Doh. Once you have it all covered, you don't want to see any more green on there, you're going to take the bacon and just wrap it around it. You don't have to seal in the ends with this because the sausage is already sealing in that cheese. So you're just going to wrap the bacon really kind of around there and push it in so it's tight to the sausage. I would recommend you make about a half a dozen of these. You can cut them in half so they're bite-sized pieces. You're going to want to cook them on a lined baking sheet on 350 for about a half an hour. Flip them halfway through to make sure the bacon's done. If you want a little sweetness to this spice, you can brush the tops of them with barbecue sauce, but I really think they pack a punch just how they are. Hopefully these have enough energy to help you root for the Steelers all game long. I hope you guys have a great Sunday.